It's Friday, September 8th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. We have a great show in store for you today. First up, we get a recreation update from Recreation Director Patty Machado. Then Assistant Harbor Master Jared Smaller tells us what precautions boaters should make now that we are deep into hurricane season. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. 9/11 is coming up on Monday, and there are a few ceremonies we would like you to be aware of. On Monday, the Hyannis Fire Department will be hosting its 16th annual memorial service in honor of those who lost their lives resulting from the terrorist attack of September 11th. The ceremony starts at 10 a.m. and will last about 50 minutes. All are welcome to attend. The Barnstable Fire Department will have two ceremonies on 9/11. The first will be at 9:55 a.m. at the fire station, and the second will be at 4 in the afternoon, and after a short ceremony at the station, there will be a procession down Main Street to St. Mary's Church for full memorial service. Centerville, Austinville, Marston's Mills Fire Department will also be holding a ceremony of remembrance of the events of September 11th. The remembrance will begin at 9:45 a.m. and be held at Station 1 on Route 28. All are welcome to attend. If you are a voter in the town of Barnstable and will not be here on September 19th, please come into the town clerk's office and vote by absentee ballot. If your son or daughter is away at college and is registered to vote in Barnstable, you can fill out a request for an absentee ballot, which will be sent to them right away. The Department of Public Works has begun performing roadway improvements on Mitchell's Way in Hyannis and Pleasant Pines Avenue in Hyannisport. Improvements include milling of the existing roadway surfaces, adjustment of drainage structures, and installation of new asphalt pavement along the entire length of both roads. Operations will start at 7 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. Work is expected to be completed by September 22nd, weather permitting. Vehicle access during construction operations will be restricted to one lane. Motorists are advised to seek alternate routes to avoid the construction work. The Wings of Freedom Tour will be hosted at the Barnstable Municipal Airport September 15th to September 17th on the East Ramp. This event is a great event for all ages to explore bomber aircrafts inside and out. The walkthrough tours will be held on the 15th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and the tours on the 16th to the 17th are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. No reservations are needed for the tours. Ticket prices for the tour is $15 for adults and $5 for children 12 and under. Another experience you can take at this event is a 30-minute flight experience. Bomber flight experiences in a B-17, B-24, and B-25 are available with a flight reservation. For more information, please visit www.cfdn.org. Up next, we'll learn about fall programs with Recreation Director Patty Machado. So Patty, fall programs have started. Well, sign-ups have started for fall programs. Yeah, fall registration.
Yeah, everyone should have, if they're in the public schools or a lot of the different preschools, all should have received this within the last week before when they first started school. We had them out to the schools beforehand. Plus, it's been online for a while. And we hope that everybody's been planning their fall out so that they can be prepared for what's going on. We started registration on Wednesday this week, the 6th, and it was busy. It was crazy, and a few things filled up. So Kids Cool Chemistry filled up, and Lego Robotics is filled up, and bowling. No, bowling didn't. Babysitting filled up.
Yeah, those are always popular ones.
They're extremely popular. Yeah. We have enough online. We're trying to find out if the company, Wicked Cool for Kids, that runs our chemistry and our robotic classes, the chemistry class, we're looking to see if we can add another day because we have enough kids that are on the waiting list. So this is why it's so important people leave their name on a waiting list.
Yes.
And then Lego Robotics, we're reaching out to see if we can add that in the winter, so we'll have a second one.
Oh, great.
Because we have a few kids on the waiting list, not a lot. But again, if we find that there's enough kids signed up, we'll see if we can get the company to add a class for us.
So even if people go online, they try to sign their kid up for something and they see it's full, get on that waiting list.
Yes, because that indicates to us what our needs are, the town wants. If the kids really want a program, we need to know that.
Great.
Babysitting we run every we do it fall, winter, spring, so there's still opportunity to get into that.
Right,
that
and once you
program.
take it, it's not something you take again, so.
Right, you're certified, right.
So, the kids that took it, that take it this fall won't be trying to take it again in the winter, so there'll be opportunities for more children to take it.
Correct.
Great.
Yeah, it all works out. We have a lot of new classes, which we're always listening to what the community wants, and we're trying to provide the services that we know the kids are looking for. We've added Zumba at the grade 4-5 building. We found an instructor, so we were able to offer that during school hours, which, I mean, not during school hours, during after school hours.
Yep.
We've added mountain biking, which is brand new this year.
Cool.
And that should be interesting. You don't have to own a bike either. So
oh, wow.
there's an opportunity to use the bikes that and a helmet. So, but you have to wear a helmet. You have to wear
all the proper safety.
People don't riding out on the trails. It'll be the Trail of Tears out in Barnstable Village, where the West Barnstable. They'll be learning how to ride. It's not the same as riding on a street.
No.
So it's real important that you take, if your kids are interested, to take that opportunity to do so. And then Maritime Mysteries is also a new class that we're holding at the Maritime Museum. Similar to the boating, we were trying to do it at the same time, but the boat builders, the guys that volunteer, are doing that on weekends now. So, but we'll pick the kids up at the school and drive them over. And that's what we do with all of our programs, including our very new program that we wanted to talk about, was the after-school program. And
this is very exciting for...
It is very exciting.
The kids that go to BIS and the parents of kids that go to BIS. I mean, this is going to be a great program.
Right. And it's funny because when we first built the youth center, I think this was the vision that original council had, was to try and get the kids in there that were youth that would be at risk. And that age group is a challenging age group. Parents out there understand that. But you don't want them going home. They're old enough to be on their own, but not really old enough to be on their own. And I know the schools were getting a huge, huge push to have after-school daycare at grade 6, 7. But you can't just have... It's not like the younger kids where you can just take them out and they play. You have to really
have stuff for them to do.
You have to have some structured stuff and show them how to play on their own. We all know it's a quirky age.
It is,
but to have an opportunity to have them come to the youth center, get their homework done like they do at all the other schools. They all get their homework done, and then they get some free play. They will have a snack, unfortunately, because we're in Hyannis, Project Bread. We're eligible for Project Bread, so they get a free snack.
Oh, great.
So they don't even have to worry about that. Parents, this is like a dream come true if I'm a parent of a middle school kid.
Right.
And, and then we'll have a structured program. But the structured programs, it will start out with us providing them, but they're going to drive the bus. They have to learn to be leaders and decide what activities they'd like to see. So it's different than a regular after-school program.
Yeah, that's great to give the kids some stewardship over the program that they're going to be participating in. So it's not they just go to it and they go, okay, now we have to do this and now we have to do this. Like, what do you guys want to do? I mean, obviously there's going to be structure to it, but they're going to have some say in what it is they're going to be able to do. But they get the homework help, but then they're going to be able to do activities too.
Right. There's just going to be a good mix.
Yeah,
that's our hope. And what's even better to this program, well, first off, it's free.
And the best four-letter F word.
It won't be free forever, but this year, because it's a pilot program, we're not sure what to expect and what the needs are going to be, because the kids are, again, we want the kids to drive the bus.
Yep.
If we have the need, we may need more instructors, we may need more, so we have a limited.
Yep.
It's only 48 students, but we're more than halfway full already.
Yeah.
Which is great. And again, I guess I don't, it's funny, I figured more boys would sign up than girls, but it's been the vice versa.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
kids
it doesn't
are kids.
matter. Yep.
Yeah, and it just will change what we offer. So we have not purchased, we're in the process of purchasing equipment, which we're able to do that because TD Bank Foundation, I guess they have they gave us $15,000, so we're able to utilize that to make this program operate.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's going to 100% expenses for the program. So we're talking about buying a spike ball, and we're buying arts and crafts, and we're buying a lot of things that we believe we're going to need. Board games.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Hoping to get some help from community that way with Toys R Us down the street. We hope that they'll be able to help us too. But a lot of organizations have stepped up. The TD Bank, I mean, that's just a godsend to make this happen. And unfortunately, the beaches weren't packed this summer, and we had some really bad weather. So we actually took the expense money that we have appropriated for the beaches and we're going to be utilizing it to make this happen.
Okay.
So we're going to take the youth at risk, give them a place to be, a safe place,
Yeah.
a non-judgmental environment, and it doesn't end there. We're actually adding a lot of social issues as a class. So probably 10 to 20 minutes a week, they'll be going to a structured program. The first one will be Detective Conley coming in from the police department. He's going to actually be teaching the use of your phone, being safe, being smart, the use of the computers. We have the computer lab there that will bring them in. We'll make sure that they clearly understand that they need to be safe. You know, all the social media and everything that they're exposed to, they need to understand that, you know, it isn't all, it's not all pretty. And that there are some people out there that they need to be careful of. And so that's just one example. We'll also, the Barnstable Youth Commission will be giving us different topics that they see at high school level that they think would benefit the middle school. We also have Chris Morin, who runs, she's across the street at Independence House. She's going to be coming in with her crew, the MVP class, and motivating some things on proper relationships, how to not to be judgmental, how to see a bad relationship, and how to handle yourself through it, and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So again,
important
lots
skills
of different class.
Yeah.
We also have Barnstable Police. The chief is unbelievably supportive of this program. He actually is going to be moving. We'll be starting next week. Actually, Brian Morrison starting full-time at the Highness Youth and Community Center. So he will have interaction with all the kids. He will help us put together some mentoring programs. So if we have a basketball game, let's say we're scrimmaging in basketball, he might bring in 2 officers to actually work with the kids and be their coaches, but at the same time they're mentoring. So that, you know, it's hard for parents. It's hard, that age group. We all know it's very hard. But to have the rest of the community wrap their arms around will be amazing. You know, it's like, so, you know, you got Independence House. So we're going to expose them to a lot of different things. The Highness Fire Department also stepped up. Confines Fire signed up. I mean, they all want to be a part of this. It's kind of like everywhere I go, I get somebody who says, "Oh, you know what I could do? I'd love to come in and do this."
Something, help out.
You know, we talked about doing a Zumba class. We talked about doing a yoga class. I mean, everybody is just really stepping in. So it's not just the Highness Youth and Community Center people.
It's the entire community.
Yeah, it's a really community event, which for free on top of it, you know. But the bottom line is we want to get the kids in there and make sure they understand that there is a whole community out here that's here and willing to work with them and help them maneuver their way to be a successful citizen and make a difference and an impact here in our community.
Okay, that's great. So it starts September 25th.
Yes.
And it's about half full right now.
Yes.
So if you want to get your kids signed up, now's the time to do it. You can do that on...
You can do it online or you can come down. Either way works fine for us.
Great. Okay, so real quick, we don't have too much time left, but there are 2 events going on this weekend that we want people to be aware of. So let's talk about that.
Well, right now, actually, they're starting to set up for the triathlon tomorrow down at Craigville Beach. And that will be starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. However, they'll be setting up today, Friday, and then sign up is tonight. They'll have, everybody has to go in and pick up their packets and their registration, make sure everything's complete to compete. There's 850 people in that event. So
it's going to be busy.
Everybody has mom, dad, and cousins, uncles, everybody comes down to root them on. So it's a huge event. All our lots are full down at the Craigville Beach area. So stay away. If you're not interested, go around what you have to go around to get where you need to go. Don't think you can just cut through that area. From 7, they're usually out of there by 11 o'clock. So after 11, it's clean sailing. If you want to come down the beach, it's not a problem. But
so in the morning.
And then we have windsurfing classes, which has been an annual thing since 1983. ABK Sports comes in from California to teach windsurfing. A lot of beginner windsurfers. And that will be down at Keltmas Beach.
So that's on Saturday as well?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is it an all day?
Excuse me.
All day?
They're all day.
All day. So Keltmas.
But it's not too crazy. There's only 20 to 30 people that are.
So there'll just be a lot more windsurfers probably than usual.
Just plenty of room, and the snack bar will still be open, which I know is the beloved at this point. Last weekend, it was the busiest I've seen it. It was more busy at Keltmas last week than it was on July 4th.
Oh, wow.
It was packed. Who would have known? But
Who
I
would've
think it's
known,
the
yeah.
snack bar that drives that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
that good.
It's a great snack
So
bar.
if you didn't get down there, this is the time to go.
Time to do it. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Patty,
No,
for coming in and
thanks.
updating us on so much that's going on.
Yeah.
So much. I recently had the chance to talk to Assistant Harbor Master Jared Smaller about what precaution boaters should take in case of a hurricane. Joining me now on the phone, we have Assistant Harbor Master Jared Smaller. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jared.
Thank you for having me.
I know that with Hurricane Harvey behind us and Irma making her way our way, we want to go over some hurricane preparedness that you guys are taking and also boat owners should be taking. So what can you tell us about this?
Yes, we typically wait until the last minute to do anything with our boats, simply because there are things that can happen in the interim. But if we feel that there's a need to pull our boats, we will. If it's even going to be close with significant winds and things like that, all of our vessels are trailerable, so we can haul them and then have them back in as soon as the storm passes. And at our marinas and things like that, we basically just batten stuff down as you would at your home in those instances. And as far as anybody else in their boats, we commonly get a lot of calls saying, should I pull my boat? And the best advice I can give on that is if you're thinking about pulling your boat, it's a good idea to do so. You should be pulling it at that point if you're considering it.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot that goes into taking a boat out of the water. Sometimes when someone takes a boat out of the water, you know, it's really hard to put it back in. So I understand that can be a hard decision for people to make this time of year because, you know, we could have really nice weather through the end of September. But, you know, it's always better to be safe than sorry, as they say.
Yes, that's correct. And along the lines of the difficulty with pulling boats, if you have a boat that's trailerable, there are multiple ramps around town that you could use. My biggest thing I would say is if you're trailering and hauling is, A, be patient because everybody's going to want to be doing the same thing. But second to that is use good ramp etiquette. Have everything ready to go when you get your when it's your turn at the ramp to haul your boat. And then once you've got your boat on the trailer and secured enough, pull up and go to a staging area to lower your antennas and secure your straps and everything else. Don't clog the ramp up for everybody else while you're taking the measures that you would need to go down the road. Now, if you have a larger boat that you need a commercial hauling company to help you with, make your arrangements early with them because those guys typically get very busy when we have a storm. Between stepping the mast on sailboats that need to come out or just anything with larger boats, those guys get very busy. If you do schedule a time with them, please adhere to that time. I know they appreciate it. And again, patience is a key at the boat ramps. Everybody wants the same thing, and everybody's going the same direction. So just be patient and use good ramp etiquette and plan ahead is the best I can tell you when it comes to hauling a boat.
I think that's great advice. You know, tempers can flare easily, so just try to keep your cool at the ramp. Know that everyone's trying to do the same thing that you are, and just, you know, be polite and do the best you can. If someone, for some reason, can't get their boat out of the water or chooses not to take their boat out of the water, what kind of precautions should they be taking on their vessel as far as maybe making sure there's no loose equipment on board and that kind of stuff?
This is probably the most important part of anything I can say because the majority of boaters do end up leaving their boats in. First and foremost, make sure that you have everything secured, all of your gear and everything else. There's an old adage that gear drift sinks ships. Any of your loose stuff it has a potential to get caught in a scupper, to foul a bilge pump or anything like that and stop any potential rain from being able to drain or be evacuated from your boat. Even boats on moorings that are not underway, that still applies. So secure all of your gear. If you have a sailboat that's staying in, I would highly recommend removing all of your sails, dodgers, bimini tops, sail covers, anything like that. Most of those things are manufactured where they can be removed. I would secure all of your lines. I would make sure that batteries are charged. That's going to be a very important part of it for your bilge pump. If we do get a storm, for the most part, we're going to see a significant rainfall, and your bilge pump is going to have to keep up with that because you're not going to be underway in your vessel, or hopefully not on board. That's a huge safety factor. Don't ride out the storm on your boat. I couldn't stress that enough to people. But make sure things are charged. If you have portable fuel tanks, remove those, and make sure that you don't leave any important documents on board, whether it be the documentation to your vessel, your registration, or insurance paperwork, titles, anything like that. Any important paperwork, make sure that that comes home with you and is safe with you, because if there is a casualty to your boat, you're going to want to be able to have access to that stuff and have it intact. And lastly, add an extra line or two. If you're on a mooring, throw an extra line. Make something up with some chafing gear, even if you have to tie a bowline on both ends. Tie something to your mooring ball, and then go to the bow eye if you happen to use cleats, or if you use the bow eye for your mooring line, go to the cleats. But add something additional to what you have, and you could possibly let out a little extra scope as well.
Okay, that's great. And I think also people should remember that hurricane season does last through, I think, November. So if you're one of those people that kind of likes to keep their boat in the water as late in the season as possible, these are things that you need to remember. But always just be safe and, make the best judgment that you can at the time. And, it's your boat, it's your baby. You don't want anything to happen to it. So thank you so much, Jared, for joining us today and giving us some of these hurricane tips for boaters. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank
you.
You.
Hopefully we don't have any major impacts. But
yes,
again, if you do, all of this information is available on the Harbor Master page of the town's website.
Oh, good.
And by all means, feel free to call our office with any other questions that anybody may have.
That's so great. Thanks so much, Jared. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Our guest today was Jared Smaller. He's Assistant Harbor Master in the town of Barnstable. Now let's find out what's happening around town in today's community calendar. The Cape Cod Wildlife Festival is happening this weekend at the Long Pasture Wildlife Sanctuary. You can meet environmental organizations from all over Cape Cod, as well as learn all about the wildlife right here in your own backyard. The event is free to attend, but donations will be accepted. The Cape Cod Wildlife Festival will take place Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Bruins Academy Learn to Play Hockey program is coming to the HYCC. The program will be run over 4 Saturdays in October and November and is available to boys and girls ages 4 through 9. For a registration fee of $100, the program includes a full set of CCM equipment, which includes skates, a professional personalized fitting, and 4 weeks of on-ice instruction led by certified coaches. To learn more and sign up, visit www.bostonbruins.com/learn-to-play. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back Monday with another great show for you. On Monday's show, we will talk to Superintendent of Schools, Meg Mayo Brown. We will learn all about a fun parking event coming up next weekend and so much more. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.